Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Valheim. I just finished recording the end of this episode, so I'm a little frustrated because, spoiler alert, I decided to build my trench today, and I get most of the way done. And then when I came back in just a little while ago to finish my work, fucking troll from earlier, from the previous episode, waltzes back over and decides to start smashing my shit unceremoniously. So, I tried to lure him away, and he just smacks me on the head once. Bonk, and I'm dead. So, I'm pissed, I'm frustrated, so I run back, get my stuff, try to lure him out again, once more. He doesn't even, as far as I remember, he doesn't even actually touch me. He just hits the ground near me, and I die. Which, once I get to that part and rewatch it, maybe things will... Maybe he did actually hit me. Maybe I'll see what actually happened, because in the moment, I damn near had a stroke. And also, there's this fucking bear. So, I think I can take the hint. I am not welcome in the Black Forest. I think we're going to have to vacate the area. Just give up, because this doesn't work. I can't live in an area where the neighbors hate me. There is no amount of protection. And I can't even finish the fucking trench unless the troll goes away. Sped up some of this early footage because it's a lot of inventory management, and I was trying to do a little bit of final work on this rebuild for some reason, because I didn't know what I was going to do when I sat down to start this. But I had to move these chests, and so I spent a little time here doing some inventory management, but that's why I sped up the footage. It doesn't last too long. And as I was recording it, I knew that's what I would do. That's why I didn't record audio at the same time, because it wasn't going to be worth the time. But I knew in the process of working on my project I would probably get harassed by a few things, and I wanted to make sure that was in the actual episode. That is terrible looking anyway. So maybe I don't care that he just smashed the shit out of it again. I do care. It's very, very annoying. I wasn't hurting anything. I'm not even sure I had actually even started back in, well, I had originally when I was down in my trench. And he waltzes, I hear the ground trembling, and I'm like, the fuck? Look up, and there's a troll. And I'm just like, hello, you? Can I help you? And he just starts smacking things. So I got out of my hole, and went inside the gate, and he just waltzes over behind the house. And it's the same side of the house that doesn't yet have the trench on it. That's where I should have started the trench. But dipshit me did not have enough sense to do that. I started the trench out front, like a fucking moron, and so he was able to just walk up next to the house again, even though some of the fence, I put a little bit of fence there, but his swing, that log is so long, he can still smack the shit out of my house. All my hard work, all the time I spent, for nothing. To just be harassed out of the neighborhood. Oh, God. Can I get a bazooka, please? I need a bazooka in this game. Can I blow up the damn trolls? Or some dynamite? Something. I need something very powerful so I can get rid of these trolls easily. I even lure him out at one point and try to fight him straight up, and, well, I'm not capable of that. I've seen other people do it, but I suck. I I don't know how I've ever fought other trolls before. I had help. So I was able to stay on the outskirts and hit one with arrows. Even though arrows don't do anything, really. At least it doesn't seem like they do. Maybe they nerfed it since then. If you did, devs, I really hate you for that. That's not fair. Arrows should do some damage. I even pulled out my spear because spears are supposed to be... that trolls are supposed to be weak to piercing. From what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true, but... in my experience, no. In my experience, they're just assholes. With a fucking club. And they bonk you into the ground. And I know you're probably thinking, why didn't you just dodge out of the way? Well, I tried, but I dodged into the troll instead, and therefore I got squashed. Like a bug. So annoying. Things were going so well. I was getting so much work done on my trench. I was so proud of my efforts. And I was so happy I found this nice big copper deposit underground. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is what I need from out here. This is great. But I didn't fucking finish the trench. And I didn't get it where I needed it to be. I didn't think about it. I should have thought about it for more than 2 seconds, but I didn't. Because I never think. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. All I had to do, literally all I had to do, was start the trench on the other side from where I started. And this wouldn't have been a problem. I mean, the troll would still be there. That would still be a problem, yes. But he wouldn't have been able to smack my house again. Thus rendering everything I had done useless. There's the bear, and I waste my time going up to the 3rd floor thinking I still have a balcony I can potentially shoot from when I dumped. Because look, I had to rebuild everything with wood. Which turns out to be a waste of time. Should have just taken the copper out of there. All I had to do was take the copper out. Take it back home. We've all been safe. A fucking circling cores. I brought all that shit over here thinking that I was gonna need it over here. No, dumbass, leave that at home where it was safe. Because now I gotta go back and fucking get it. Alright, this part I sped up a little faster, just so that it wouldn't take very long, and I didn't want... Honestly, I could just cut all this out and jump to the part where you watch me get bonked by a troll, but that'll be like a 2-minute video then. And I don't want that, because I don't know if I'm coming back to Valheim, honestly. This has been kind of a demoralizing blow. So if you really want to see me come back to Valheim, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments. Like, do I bother? Because I don't feel like it's worth my time. It's kind of fun watching a fight with Grey Dwarfs that is very sped up. Back to... I started for a moment cutting these rocks down because I thought maybe I'll just build up rock walls, basically, because those are indestructible. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not interested in wasting all this time farming rock. I could just dig the trench instead. So, I spent a little while doing this before I realized, no, this is kind of a waste of my time. Everything I did today was a waste of my time, technically. This is like in Mark and Bob and Wade's playthrough of The Forest, where Mark and Bob are building a cabin off the edge of a cliff, and Mark fucks up, and this is the start of my trench. I started in the wrong fucking spot. I just needed... I need to fix my pickaxe. And that's when I realized, this is going to be a challenge, because I have to then get in and out of that trench constantly. I eventually figure out a method for doing that. It's not impossible. But like this, at first, goes pretty well. This was the wrong place to start, but this is where I started. I didn't think about it at all. I was like, all I had to do, start on the other side. But nothing was over here, nothing was really bothering me. Decided to go get some wood because I'm going to build a crafting table, because I realize I'm going to need to build like stairs and stuff. I need a crafting table for that. It didn't start as a very deep trench, but it didn't really need to be. And then I'm all like, I'm going to put a roof over it so that I can actually use it. But that ends up not happening because I need wood, so I take a break here to come cut up this log, because I've got a bunch of these just lying everywhere, but I didn't actually pick up any of the wood. God, I can't climb these fucking hills. It's the other reason that I should just be done, because I can't do anything in this game. I am quickly running out of video games for myself to play. Kind of glad I start a new job tomorrow, and I can get some money, and then I can buy RE9, and I can just play that. I can't possibly be so bad at that I have to quit. I'm decent at RPGs, at least. Survival crafting? No. Yeah, it's too exposed. I have to have actual walls around it, but it's like, alright, well, fine. I'll just go back to digging my trench. Or if I just kept going this direction, but I ended up going the other direction with the trench. If I just kept going this way, I'd have gotten around to that side of the house where the fucking troll. And here I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just climb on some rock piles and get out that way. It kind of worked. Gotta fix my pickaxe again. And that's day one, so the trench has started. I decided to level this ground here, because this little hole has been bugging me forever. Fucking ADHD. And see, here is where I start going the other direction for some reason, and this is where I discovered the copper. That's why I kept going the other direction, because I found... I don't think that's copper, I think that's rock right now. But I had to get that out of my way. There's copper coming up. And I was so happy with that discovery, was that, oh, there's copper underground, cool. There it is. There's the start of my discovery. I found this shit. I don't even have the ability to smelt any of it. uneven terrain slowly bothers me, so I decided to throw in another. Well, I'm thinking about it anyway, but then, no, I'll just go with rock. I'm trying to flatten things out a little bit, open things up. Keep going and find more copper. Now the pickaxe is broken again, so gotta get out and repair it again. And for a little while here, I'm like, do I have what I need to make a second one, so that way I don't have to come back in here all the time and repair it? And the answer is no, I don't have what I need here. But after like 4 days here digging this trench, I run out of the food that I have on me, and I have to go back to my main base, and I discover that I have antlers there, and I have enough wood. So I make a secondary pickaxe, thinking that I'll be able to use that now. But that's right after I do that is when I come back to my Black Forest base here, and the troll shows up. So making that second pickaxe was pointless. I had no idea of that at the time. Hello, copper. Really love that I wasted all this time. So overjoyed. If I hadn't found the copper, I wouldn't have kept going this direction. I would have stayed going the other direction, and I don't realize until later how big of a trench I've actually kind of dug. Like how far into the earth I've cut. Because I'm technically on a little bit of a hill, so... Oh, there was something, I think it was the bear. I just barely caught a glimpse of it. I don't think I noticed it at the time, maybe I heard it. Oh, there's the bear. I did eventually realize it, and I'm like, can you go away? And it starts raining, I'm like, alright, time to go outside. We're done. I don't like to be outside in the rain. Not in the Black Forest. Not in the dark. So I decided, alright, time to move the copper. Put the copper away. That's all I can think about is all that copper in my Serling cores. I have to go get those. I am not doing it now, because if I get whacked by that troll again, I'm going to throw my computer. And I cannot afford to do that. See, look at that. It's quite the hill. I heard the bear, so I'm just standing here looking around for it, like, where... Look at that. What I've dug already. And I should have known digging a trench, terraforming the location was going to piss off the troll. Because the troll gets mad at everything I do. My existence here at all pisses off the troll. The troll's like, these are my woods. Get the fuck out. And there's like, dude, can we not share? Put a campfire down, thinking that might help deter some things. And I just like having campfires near me now. They made me feel safe, but they don't deter the trolls. I was thinking before I even came back to work on this more was, can I turn this trench into a punji pit? Because that would be excellent. But I'm not even going to get the chance to finish the trench or use it, probably. We'll know if I have the wherewithal to come back and make another episode. I can't guarantee that's going to happen. I'm going to need some time away before I can muster up the courage to come back and do this. More copper. There's plenty of copper in this area, which is great. is when I start looking at my food reserves and realize that we're running low, so it's going to be time to... And in fact, this is when I... Maybe not. I went back to my trench, I guess. Took a little break. I think tomorrow in-game is when I go back to my main base to go, because I know I have food there. Or no, I just put in that ladder for some reason and walked back out. Then I decided to put a chest down here as temporary storage. But I had to throw those rocks out because I couldn't do it when you're encumbered. It's alright. That was pointless. More inventory management. And now... Nope, back into the trench. Put the box down, and eventually got that there. I gotta remember that copper is in there. When I come back, jump out and get that copper first. Grey dwarf falls in. Quick work of them at times 300 speed. Been using my knife on them to get more levels, since it's the only weapon I have with slashing damage. I fundamentally don't understand how this terraforming thing works. So I decided to come out and check and see where I'm at. And I realize, alright, it's time to turn back in a little bit more. And it's getting dark, so time to be done. It's not even that much copper that I have, but it's more than nothing, so it's worth retrieving. I don't think do I run back now? Or do I go back in the trench? I think I at least start in the trench. I realized my workbench is gone, like Grey Dwarf must have destroyed it. So I put in another one. Get back here. Don't fall in my trench and then... I should have just kept going this way. But I don't know. That day I spent going back home was a mistake. I should have stayed and continued the trench. I needed to finish the trench before I went anywhere. I could have subsisted on mushrooms and berries. And here I kind of dug a little bit low and was like, for a minute I was like, shit, how am I getting out of here? But I really should have stayed here and kept doing this. And this is when I realized, oh, damn. So I figured I could jump on the workbench, and that worked. I gotta get this down. I don't know why I do anything, alright? Like, the ADHD just... I had to fix my pickaxe, and then it starts raining. Like, okay, well, we're not doing anything outside in the rain. Can't sleep. So I decide to sit. I think this is actually when I realize that my food reserves... This is when I decide food reserves are low enough that we should probably take the time to make a trip. Actually, I decided I'd come back outside since I couldn't sleep. Yet, it wasn't late enough. I was like, alright, maybe we'll just do a little more work anyway in the rain. So I decided to take the copper inside, because I don't like the idea of it being outside. Because I have trust issues. Fair. But also I shouldn't have left it in the Black Forest at all to begin with. Just decided to sit out in the rain. Should have been digging my trench. If I had known that the troll was going to wander back in, I should have just assumed that. I knew that the troll had not left the area, not permanently, just because I'd had a few good days where I hadn't been bothered by it. Didn't mean that it wasn't going to come back, and that was when I decided to make my run to my main base to go, because I know I have uncooked food back there. So hard for me. It's why you see me pull up the map so many times, because I have to check and double check and make sure I'm going in the right direction. Time to kill a couple boars, because I need the food anyway. I'm like, what the hell? A little more boar meat doesn't hurt. When I saw this thing, I decided to check out what it was, and it was nothing, so just moved on, back to stop, pick some mushrooms, because, again, low on food. And I realized that I do still have workers back in my main base that I do need to check on and feed, so I gotta collect the raspberries and stuff for them. I don't really think about them until I get in here. Relight the fire. And then, yeah, I already had some cooked meat, but I had a bunch of deer meats here that was uncooked, so I decided to spend the rainy day just cooking for a little bit, because I need the food. so cozy. But I was wasting time. Could have been digging a trench that would have kept my house safe. But ultimately, would it keep me safe? Because that flippin' troll literally stood on the far side of the trench, and his stupid log could reach my fence on the other side, so the trench wasn't wide enough anyway. So I'm thinking, why do I gotta dig this thing before my shit is safe? And then I still gotta have a way for me to get across the trench without falling into it. I was getting smoked out because I was sitting close to the fire, so I started to walk off, and I'm like, no, you still have one thing on the fire, so don't let that burn. And the rain let up, and I went out and I checked on my boars. Wilbur and Charlotte are still here, thankfully. I've been gone for several days at this point. I wanted to make sure they were alive. They're not reproducing anything yet. I don't know how you get them to do that, so I dropped some more food for them. Because I wanted them to be... We've got like 3 patches of food. They got plenty. They're not really eating any of it. But I always want to make sure they're taken care of. Because I don't need them to die again. Because I don't want to have to retame them, and I do want them to procreate, so I have an unlimited supply of meat. It's kind of my only way. And I picked up my honey too, because I hadn't been here in several days, so it was time to recollect everything. I had a little bit more deer meat to cook, so I chose to cook it. This is where I grab the deer antlers and make my second antler pickaxe. But I don't have any wood, so I have to go out. I don't have enough anyway. And I don't have any just stash, so I'm like, alright, we gotta go out and collect. There's nothing in these chests, because I don't hold on to excess. I literally chop wood and then I use it. So I just run around looking for the loose stuff that's lying around. And there we go. Secondary antler pickaxe. Which I have not yet had an opportunity to use. And likely won't. Depending upon how the next episode goes. Picking up some mushrooms and getting ready to head back to Black Forest Base. So let's make the run there. There will be no game sound for this section because I made a mistake. I thought that I could record an episode and watch a YouTube video while I was doing so, and I cannot because it picked up the audio from that, and you don't need to listen to RE9 while I do this. So that's why there is no game sound. But it's okay, because this is a short-lived section, because this is when the troll comes and smacks my shit. And, well, maybe we can actually bring sound back, because at a certain point I did stop the video, but at the start of it there will be no game sound. So yeah, there will only be my voice for the first part of this section. Yeah, unfortunately you don't get to hear the troll squash me, but you will get to see it. And now we're not speeding up the footage anymore because, well, this is real time. I think part of the reason that I got surprised by the troll was also because I was watching a YouTube video at the same time and I was not totally focused. So, like, I heard the stomping, but I thought, like, oh, is that in the video that I'm watching? And then it's like, no, because it's not the part where there's nothing major following Grace at that point. And then I realized, no, that's in my game. I couldn't tell the two audios apart. Yeah, so that's probably a significant portion of why I got my shit wrecked, because my attention was divided. Which, hey, that happens. But yeah, I'm very, very interested in getting my hands on RE9 myself. And you can see the screen shaking as the troll's marching over. I hit the ground a few times and I pissed him off. And I'm just like, what the fuck? There he is. Look at him. Yeah, and his thing can still reach to the other side. Like, I don't know what exactly he's wrecking right now, but Trench, my theory is correct. Trench is not big enough. But then he decides to walk around here, and I thought maybe if I walked to the other end, I knew I was safe down there, but if I moved away, maybe he would vacate the area. But no, he just walks around behind my house again and goes over there and smacks it. He's already back there, as you saw briefly. So I walk in the gate thinking, okay, maybe we're going to be okay. Maybe he's going to go away. But no. And then he sees me, smashes my house again. There we go. And then another. And potentially, I think does he hit it a third time? So I was like, okay, well, I looked inside. I was like, okay, I can't stay here. We got to get him out of here. So I run over by him, trying to get him to pay attention to me and stop smashing my shit. I'm like, hey, buddy, come on. It's me you want. I'm the thing that you want to smash instead of my house. But he doesn't follow me. He turned in my direction, but then I got too far away from him and he decided he didn't care anymore. Unfortunately. Because Greydorf wanted a piece of me, so... Alright, back into the fray. To see what's left. To see if maybe he's walked out of the area again. Can I go back to what I was doing? Probably not. And truthfully, no. Most of the house is still standing. But there's huge holes. Again. Oh, there's a skeleton who decides to come over, and I switched my club and take care of the skeleton pretty easily. I just can't fight trolls. Skelly's done. Where did this big fucking... There he is. And at this point I'm annoyed. Very annoyed. I'm just like, dude, go away. But I know if I jump back in that hole and start smacking shit again, he's gonna come over and do more damage. So I guess I make the decision to go over there and try to fight him. I was like, well, what the hell? I need something interesting for the end of this video, so let's go see what we can do. And that's... It does not go well at all. I really thought that I could adapt better than I do. It doesn't work out in my favor. I do everything wrong here. And... Come on, you big bitch. Big blue bitch. I don't even hit him with my arrow, but he notices it, so he comes stomping over. I'm like, alright, let's get into a more open area. Although, why? I don't know what I think an open area is going to do. There's no advantages for me. There's no advantages for me at all against a troll. This is comically hilarious. This ends in like 3 seconds. This is ridiculous. Me thinking, oh, I'm going to be all tough. Oh, smash. Actually, I think he missed me on that one. That one, he staggers me, hits me. I got a few hits in, and then done. It's lights out. So frustrating. But better me than my house. Better me than him smashing the shit out of my house some more. Dying's part of the game. That's not the part that irritates me the most. And then audio comes back in because there's no more RE9 in the background. So now we have to run back and get my shit. But first I have to orient myself, figure out which direction I need to go. Up some random leather scraps that I guess I'd left on the ground at some point. Decided to pick some raspberries because I might need some food before I can get to my stuff, because I don't know if the troll is going to be just standing there. And I need more stamina anyway. I realize I gotta swim across this stupid river. And in my current state, not exactly got the most stamina. And I'd be really annoyed if I drowned. I decide I have to stand here for a second, let my stam come back. Need to get to my body so I can get some real food. A greatling. Fuck off, boar. Didn't even bother to turn back and look at it. It's not worth my time. On the other side, this is a larger open body of water. We gotta try and just walk this as much as we can. Stick to the little bits of land so that we don't have to try and swim, because I don't have enough. stamina to swim across this. There's no way I would drown for sure. And I would be pissed. I mean, I'm gonna die pretty quickly after I get over there anyway, so. Yeah, I died to this stupid troll twice. This is, I almost drowned here too. Stam runs out, and we're only about, or we're more than halfway actually. So that's why I just kept pushing, because eventually we're gonna get, we gotta try. Nothing else we can do about it. And then, thankfully, gets his feet under him. We're just like, okay, where's my body? Just gotta go straight. And look, the fucking troll is still just standing there. And I'm like, where did I die? It's right over there. Alright. We can get this. We could have gotten this and gotten out. I did not have to do this twice. I don't know what I was thinking the second time. I start to run off, but then I went back for some reason, like I was gonna try to 1v1 the troll again or some shit. I don't know. I don't know when to quit, apparently. Hello, Grayling. I can one-shot you with a spear, but can't do shit for a troll. I wonder, could I throw a spear at a troll? I mean, yes, theoretically I could. Could I do it? Probably not. You've seen me shoot the bow. If I can't shoot the bow, then this asshole just has it out for me. Try to do some fancy dodge and weave shit, and it does not work out in my favor. Stam runs out. Okay, now we fucked. Yeah, the stam is too low. The stam is what fucks me. Bam, I'm dead. I still don't think he actually hit me. But he was close enough that he rattled my fucking brains out of my skull. Or something. That's annoying. Alright, run back to my body number 2. Let this be a lesson on what not to do with a troll. I don't know how many skills you lose when you die, but that's really annoying because I know I'm pretty high in most of my skills. This is gonna be a long swim and not a good idea, and I think this is the one where I thought that maybe I was gonna not make it. Because yeah, we're barely halfway, and yeah, this is... Thankfully I angled it just right. Got some ground under my feet. Saved it. So if there is an episode 10, which there likely will be, because I do have to go back and get my stuff, I have to try at the very least. Episode 10 might be pretty short. It might just be me basically going, alright, Valheim's done. See, I tried and I failed. And I'm just not gonna advance beyond this point. So we're done. But we are gonna try to get back into the Black Forest so I can recover the copper in my Surtling cores and my gold coins and get those back to my main base that's in the meadows and safe. And I will never again take things out of my main base, pretending like I can keep them safe anywhere else. I cannot. I don't know how the rest of y'all are doing this, but soloing this, definitely not my thing. Survival games are not my bread and butter. Sure glad I never built a base over in this section of meadows, because I'd still be antagonized by this damn troll. Because he hangs out here, and I'm like, where is my body? There it is. No, there's some stones. I didn't. There it is. Alright. And we're dipping out. So. That's basically the end at this point. I decided I was done with the troll. I was done with everything today. It's like, nope, this is it. I'm going back to base, and we're quitting. Yes, I rage quit. I was over it. Now it's gonna be hard to see if I even can convince myself to go back to try and salvage anything. So I make the decision to run back to my main base. I'm just lightening the load here a little bit and putting my clothing and armor back on. Making sure I got everything. Oh, I didn't put the hat on. I was noticing that, but I didn't realize that I didn't equip it. Now I understand why the things look weird. And the hood was... I didn't equip the hood. Gotta eat so I have stamina so I can run. Because I'm realizing that the light is getting into evening light and it's gonna get dark eventually, and I don't want to be out in the dark. It's not really all that dangerous, but I just got walloped by a troll twice in one day, so I'm kind of not interested in hanging out in the dark if I don't have to. Kill a couple of boars on the way back, because I can always use the boar meat. And I can at least one-shot a boar. I can't one-shot a troll. Just a fucking bazooka. But I'm not gonna get that in Valheim, unfortunately. Can I get a nuke? Can I nuke the troll? That would be nice. This is the early game. It's not supposed to be this hard. It really isn't. It's just that I am terrible. Decided to kill this neck as well, because I needed to kill some things. I needed to get my confidence back a little bit. So I gotta kill things that are smaller than me. Just over this hill. And this is more like a mountain rather than a hill. It's not a mountain. There's an actual mountain biome that at this rate I'm never going to get to. Which is sad, because that's where the wolves are, and I really wanted to tame some wolves. It was kind of the whole motivation and reason for restarting Valheim, was that I wanted to get to the mountains. I wanted to move beyond the Black Forest. I wanted to get to the other biomes and see some of the rest of the game. I just really wanted to get to the mountains and tame some wolves. Because if I had an army of wolves, that troll would not get to just wallop me. That's why I want the wolves, is so that the things that are a problem for me now can't always be a problem for me if I've got backup. And I need backup. I can't survive on my own. Alright, that is going to do it for this one. If you have enjoyed this content, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Because as always, we are working towards monetization on this channel, and every little bit you do helps. thank you for watching. And if you do want to see an episode 10 of Valheim from me, please let me know in the comments below. I am going to need the encouragement to continue with this Let's Play if you want to see more.